Hello everyone, welcome to Educate YouTube channel. Today we will learn about life process. As we all know, life process occurs in living organisms. So in today's class, we will learn about the life process in amoeba, in plants, and in human beings. What is life process? Life processes are the maintenance function that take place even when the organisms are in rest to keep the living organisms alive. The process which together perform the functions of maintenance of life is also known as life process. So what are the functions of maintenance of life? The movement, respiration, sensitivity, growth, excretion, reproduction, and nutrition. The various life processes that take place in living organisms are called metabolic activities or metabolism. What is metabolism? It is the chemical reaction in the body cells that change food into energy. When does the chemical reaction occur? It occurs during digestion. Metabolism consists of anabolism and catabolism. Anabolism is building up of substances. Catabolism means breaking down of substances. Now let's learn about nutrition. Nutrition is the process of intake of source of energy, that is, food from outside the body in order to grow, develop and synthesize proteins. Nutrition in different organisms is fulfilled in different ways. Some organisms, like plants, use the simple food material in the form of carbon dioxide and water, and some use complex food materials like us, human beings, animals. They eat the complex food and they break it down into simpler ones, and then it is used by the body. Enzymes, you might be knowing about enzymes, right? Enzymes are the biocatalysts which help in the breaking down of complex substances into the simpler ones. It is the process of intake and utilization of nutrients by organisms in various life processes. Various type of nutrients are: for energy food, it is carbohydrates and lipids. Lipid is also known as fats. For bodybuilding foods, it is proteins and mineral salts. Proteins, what is the example of proteins? Fish, meat, egg, etc. Regulating foods are vitamins and minerals. Green vegetables or any kind of vegetable, it has high source of vitamin. So everyone must include vegetables in their regular diet. About mode of nutrition. Mode of nutrition can be classified into autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition based on the method of obtaining food. What is autotrophic? Organisms which synthesize organic molecules from inorganic sources. For example, plants. How do plants prepare their own food? With the help of sunlight, water, and carbon dioxide. It goes through a process called photosynthesis. What is heterotrophy? Heterotrophic organisms depend on autotrophic organisms for food. That is, we human beings or animals, we don't synthesize our own food, right? We depend on plants. Plants are autotrophic. Autotrophic is then categorized into two. One is photoautotroph, the other one is chemoautotroph. Photo means light. Sun is light, okay? Making organic compounds using energy derived from the sun is called photoautotroph. It is also known as photosynthesis. What is chemosynthesis? Making organic compounds using energy derived from oxidization of chemicals. Heterotrophy is then categorized into three. One is consumer, detritivores, saprotrophs. Who are consumers? Carnivores, herbivores, omnivores. Who are they? Carnivores are organisms which eat only animals. Example, lion and snake. Herbivores are organisms which eat only plants. Example, rabbit, elephant. Omnivores are organisms which eat both plants and animals. Which category do human beings fall in? Omnivores. Detritivores. What are detritivores? They depend on non-living organic matter. Earthworm, woodlice. Saprotrophs they feed on non-living organic matter by secreting digestive enzymes and absorbing the products. Example, bacteria, fungi, etc. What is autotrophic nutrition? It is a process where an organism prepares its own food from a simple inorganic material like water, mineral salts, and carbon dioxide in the presence of sunlight. What is the example of autotrophic nutrition? Green plants and volvox. What does autotrophic mean? Auto means self, trophic means nutrition. It is called self-nutrition. What do you mean by photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process of production of food from carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. It is an anabolic process in nature for providing food supply to the living organisms. Now look at this chemical reaction. Carbon dioxide plus water in the presence of light and chlorophyll, you get glucose plus oxygen plus water. So what do you mean by glucose? It is the food. So where do you see this kind of chemical reaction? In plants. So during this kind of chemical reaction, it purifies the atmospheric air by consuming carbon dioxide and by giving out oxygen. This is carbon dioxide. This has been consumed over here for the process and it gives out oxygen. Now just look at this two figures. What is the first one? Cross section of a leaf. The second one is stomata. In the cross section of leaf, you will see chloroplast. Where do you find chloroplast? Over here. Chloroplasts are the green dots present in some cells of a leaf which contain chlorophyll. This contains chlorophyll. Okay? Chlorophyll absorbs light energy. Light energy is converted to chemical energy. Water molecule splits into hydrogen and oxygen. Carbon dioxide reduces carbohydrates. The site of photosynthesis in a cell of a leaf is called chloroplast. The plants obtain carbon dioxide by tiny pores called as stomata. Where do you find stomata? Stomata are present on surface of leaves. Okay. The carbon dioxide gas enters into the leaves through the stomata. The carbon dioxide will be used by plants for photosynthesis, right? How does it enter the leaf? Through the stomata. Okay. So the opening and closing of the pore is the function of guard cells. You can see guard cells over here. These help in opening and closing the stomata. Water can be lost through stomata, hence the pores are closed when not needed for photosynthesis. When water flows into guard cells, these swell, causing the stomata pores to open, and the pores close if the guard cells shrink. Okay, in your textbook, page number 96 and 97, you will find two activities, activity 6.1 and activity 6.2. The activity 6.1 is about chlorophyll is necessary for photosynthesis, and activity 6.2 is carbon dioxide necessary for photosynthesis. Read that properly from your textbook as it is important through examination point of view. Let's learn about heterotrophic nutrition. What do you mean by that? It is a mode of nutrition in which an organism depends on other living organisms for food. Depending on the type of food, heterotrophs can be divided to three types: carnivores, herbivores, and omnivores. Organisms which eat only animals is called carnivores, example lion and snake. Organisms which eat only plants, they are called herbivores, example rabbit and elephant. Omnivores are organisms which eat both plants and animals, example cat, dog, human beings. Some organisms break down the food material outside the body and then absorbs it. Who are they? Example for those are yeast and mushroom. Some other animals break the food inside the body before absorbing. How to break the food inside the body before absorbing? That is called digesting. Okay. Example for that is human, cat, dog. Some organisms derive their food from the body of other organisms without killing them. Example for that is mosquito. How do they gain energy? By sucking human blood. Do they kill us? No, right? Even leech suck human blood, but they don't kill humans. They don't harm others. Why do heterotrophic organisms depend on autotrophic? Because they can't make their own food like green plants. They cannot synthesize their own food. Now let's learn mode of nutrition in single-celled organisms. How do organisms obtain their nutrition? These single-celled organisms like amoeba, paramecium, how do they obtain their energy? Amoeba takes in food using temporary finger-like projection of the cell which fuse over the food particle to form a food vacuole, and the food is broken down inside the food vacuole and diffused into cytoplasm. Oh, here, look at this diagram. It is a food. Food is taken in by the amoeba through the finger-like projection called pseudopodia. It is called ingestion. The next part is digestion. The food is taken inside the amoeba. The food is getting digested. The digested food is absorbed by the amoeba. During assimilation, after assimilation, the unabsorbed food, the waste, the leftover food is thrown out of the body, thrown out of the amoeba, is called egestion, the excreted waste. In paramecium, it's another unicellular organism that has a definite spot in a body to take in food. Food is moved by the movement of hair-like structure called cilia in the body of paramecium. Over here the food is taken in by pseudopodia, right? In paramecium the food is taken in by cilia. Now let's learn about nutrition in human beings. How do human beings get their nutrition? Through food. Food is supposed to be digested to gain energy. Now let's learn how does the food get digested. Nutrition in human beings takes place through parts like mouth, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and anus. The process of nutrition takes place through an alimentary canal that starts from the mouth. It's a long tube extending from the mouth to the anus. complex foods should be converted to smaller ones by crushing the food with the teeth and by the enzyme called salivary amylase of saliva secreted by salivary glands. The saliva, where will you find saliva? In the mouth. That helps the food to be get crushed. Salivary amylase breaks down starch, which is the complex molecule, into sugar. Starch is a very complex molecule, right? The saliva breaks the starch into sugar. Sugar is the simplest one. As the canal lining is soft, the food is made wet to make the passage smooth. Alimentary canal has different parts and the food should be moved in a regulated manner along the digestive tube so the food is processed properly in each part. The food is taken to the stomach through the food pipe or esophagus from mouth. The muscular wall of stomach mixes the food with more digestive juices secreted by the gastric glands present in the wall of stomach. Gastric glands releases hydrochloric acid, a protein digesting enzyme called as pepsin. Mucus protects the inner lining of the stomach from the action of acid under normal condition. From stomach, acidic food enters small intestine, the longest part of alimentary canal, and is regulated by sphincter muscle. The small intestine is the longest part of the alimentary canal. Complete digestion of carbohydrate, protein and fats take place in small intestine. The bile juice. Where is the bile juice secreted? By the bile duct. Where can you find the bile duct? Near the liver, in the liver. Bile secreted by liver makes the acidic food alkaline and acts on large globules of fat into smaller globules so that the enzyme can act on easily. Pancreas secretes pancreatic juice which contains enzyme trypsin to break for digesting proteins. Lipase for digesting emulsified fats. The wall of the small intestine The inner wall of small intestine has finger-like projections called villi, which are richly supplied with the blood vessels, and these take the absorbed food to the cells of the body. The unabsorbed food, the waste, what is left behind, that will be sent to the large intestine, where more villi absorb water from the undigested food, and the rest of the material, the waste, what is left after digestion, it is excreted from the body by anus. So what have we learned in today's class? We have learned about life process, the definition of life process. We have learned about metabolism, then modes of nutrition, autotrophic nutrition, heterotrophic nutrition, how do unicellular organisms gain nutrition, how do human beings gain nutrition, etc. So the remaining part, respiration, excretion, all that I will learn in the next video. So please like this video and subscribe to this channel, EduGain channel, for more interesting topic coming up in the future. Thank you for watching.